and we checked and it was confirmed. So these are the things we should even be bothered about, not about whether they will quarrel or not. What are you saying to the Nigerian person? Yes. You want me to vote you? What are you telling me? How are you? I'm like the Nigerian electorate should realize that as of now they are like that beautiful bride. I want to woo you. What are you saying to me to convince me? Are you just telling me that I am of marriageable age, therefore I'm coming to marry you? Or is there something so that's what we should be asking them. What are you giving us? What are you offering us? And by what are you giving us, it is not about a bottle of soft drink that the traditional politicians is in real terms. What is the discussion? Let's borrow a leaf from other clients, which is where somebody like the Peter Obi everybody's talking about comes in 2023. He was able to move political discourse away from pittance, giving money to real discussion. So this is what we should be craving for, and not if they will quarrel or not.
We've had problems about dishonesty from politicians, where they would come out to say one thing and then mean another thing. And sometimes you may feel that their antecedents or possibly what their strides in their states, maybe as governors, would translate to what they would do as president. So a lot of persons are saying it's not the same case when it comes to the current president, Tinubu.
Yes.
When he was in Lagos, he did a lot
when he
of
was a
things
governor,
in
he was
Lagos.
good, but as a president,
he did a lot of imaginary things.
Imaginary.
Absolutely.
As what?
You think there was nothing tangible
He did as what?
that President
No,
Tinubu did as a governor?
No,
for Lagos State?
No, you guys can check the record. You see, everybody who has been a governor must have done one thing or the other. So it's not about, do you think he didn't do anything? After all,
you did say it's imaginary. Imaginary means
he created
the platform,
the 37 LCDAs, local council development area. So that would rightly be said to have been doing something. But you see, the bulk of the infrastructural development and renewal you see in Lagos today started from the time of Fashola. But just as these guys have a way of accrediting everything to himself, under the guys that I brought Fashola to, you guys can check the
that could translate.
You guys can check the record. I was in Lagos during his tenure. All the roads in Victoria Island, Barbitue, are in bad shape. Oshodi was in bad shape. The renewal you see today started from Fashola time, and these things are verifiable. Just that we don't check it.
I get you, but don't you think that sometimes, a good attribute of a leader is knowing who to put in critical spaces and what to do. Sometimes you cannot do all the job yourself, all the work yourself. You need to you need to delegate. Sorry.
His tenure was already over.
Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, let me land. Hold on.
No, it was only an accident that Fashola wanted to do. Look at the situation now.
And he gave room for that.
He created a structure. Hold on. He created a structure. He put down the groundwork. He laid the foundation. We can agree that no building can be erected or built without a strong foundation. And we know how much time, effort, and materials are put into creating a foundation for the structure to be strong. For all you know, he came to meet Lagos in shuttles. And he knows, okay, I have a lot to do, but I can't do this thing in my 8 years of tenure. So what I can do is to put structures in place to make sure that whoever comes after me would have a smooth running. And we also know that he was in the back scene, making sure that the right people are in the right places, key positions, in critical areas. Is that not enough for a leader?
I'm looking at you in amazement.
Amazement?
Yeah. You mean he spent 8 years laying foundation, then only for Fashola to come and start building the foundation?
No, he built the foundation. He built on the foundation.
And and then he started quarreling when Fashola came to start building on the foundation. Build on the foundation. Okay. You allude that he built. They started a quarrel. What was the quarrel about? Fashola was almost not getting a second term in Lagos State. I remember organizations like TC2 as second term organization all started to support Fashola against Tinubu. It was pressure that he was. So you see, when you talk about what he inherited, to be sure, Marwa was the last military governor of Lagos State at the end of the 1999 military rule. Then he came in. He spent the earlier part of his government, even though his government, not his campaign period, his government, he spent the better part of his government campaigning on how to outdo somebody who has left power.
Which you mean? Let's
when you say campaigning, can you throw more?
Most of the time he says, "Oh, we are doing better than what Marwa did." It's as if the shadow of Marwa was haunting him. To be sure, Marwa was one of the. I know there's some arguments against Marwa also. You know, the typical how they govern and how they make money and all this. But Marwa, in terms of governance in Lagos State, did fairly well. So when you say the things he inherited, as at time Marwa was leaving, he had actually done something. You remember the operation sweep of yesteryears to fight crime, which almost every other state copied with different name. Operation Bale operation. I don't know what operation they had in Rivers State, but it was Marwa's idea. I'm trying to tell you that Marwa was not just a layabout military governor who did nothing. Then in terms of road construction, he did a lot. I remember a particular fire incident that happened in the Orile axis of Lagos State that Marwa was there. So Marwa was like.
Can we come back to the topic
before that?
The topic of discussion.
I want to ask him a question, right? Concerning Tinubu's reign in Lagos. Your point exactly is that Tinubu didn't do enough, or he didn't do anything at all, or possibly he didn't lay anything.
He didn't do as much as is accredited to him, and we can see it what he's doing now.
I just wanted to get that point.
Let's move on. Now, let's move on to the coalition. Do you think that this coalition is a threat to the sitting government? Because it seems like everybody is so much into them. Every day we have different personalities coming out to grant interviews and then try to quote unquote rubbish this coalition, make them feel lesser than they are. One of such is Tinubu's aide, Voila, chiding Peter Obi over comments on Benue killing, saying that Very Dark Man was more empathetic than the ex-governor. He also went to allude that Peter Obi was not empathetic. He did not even try to go and visit Benue State. But we do know that we have it on note that as far back as April 15th, if I'm not mistaken, Peter Obi wanted to go and visit Benue State before it got as heated as it is right now. And then Father Hyson said he cannot guarantee his safety. Therefore, he's not going to give him the permission to visit the state. Do you think that there have been works, especially against Peter Obi, in terms of the opposition, making sure that, look, come what may, or come 2027, we will not give these people a leg to stand on, and they are spending so much time and effort to try and ridicule the new coalition?
You see, the ruling party and our agents probably know that they have not done enough to satisfy the yearning of Nigerians. That's why they focus more of their time trying to discredit the coalition. I heard something on your news this morning about the is it the Minister of Information or something talking about the coalition, how that I felt like
everybody's talking about the coalition.
It's unnecessary. So there is no gain saying that they are jittery. Their body language, everything about them shows that they are jittery about the coalition. Even before the strength of the coalition is tested, they are already feeling jittery. Maybe it's because of the way they have performed in the office. Maybe it's because of the set caliber of people that is in the coalition. Maybe it's because just too many maybes to attempt to. Then on the issue which you raised now, he is criticizing Peter Obi. For crying out loud, even the president when he went to Benue, decided to stay in a cozy hall, an air-conditioned hall, and couldn't get to the center of the crisis, in the guise that the roads are bad. But we have a presidential jet lying there. They couldn't fly there. And if the roads are bad, I beg to ask, who should have fixed the road? Is it not the government? Maybe that road is not a federal road, but the state government is also an APC government. So if the president cannot go to that place to visit them, what is all this noise about Peter? So they are making the coalition look stronger than it may even be, because their body language speaks fear. Why they are afraid? Maybe it's obvious to the Nigerian people that indeed these guys are afraid.
Okay. Isn't you did say that they are jittery because they feel they've not done enough for the people of Nigeria, hence having such strong opposition.
Their body language says so.
Say so, okay. But don't you also think it's as a result of the kind of personalities we have, the strong personalities we have? Because we do know that when it comes to politics, it's all about the number of supporters, your strength, and then your resources. And these individuals on their own have enough support, have enough resources, have enough sway. And then imagine all of them coming together. If only they're able to get past who is supposed to be the have the presidential candidacy to move the new ADC forward, then that means I think that's the biggest hurdle. To be able to go past that, don't you think that they have a strong chance? Hence, the opposition or the sitting government
which has
have
become
enough
the opposition
reasons
anyway.
have enough reasons to be jittery.
The primary reason they are jittery, the primary reason they are jittery, like I said earlier on, is that simple understanding that they have not done enough to satisfy the Nigerian people.
And not because of the personality.
No, not just because of the personality. That is a secondary reason, because they are the ones in. So they are the ones in power. If they have done enough to satisfy the Nigerian people, as at now, as at the next election, they should be showing us their scorecards.
Right.
They say, oh, in this area we have done this, we have a C5 here, in this place we have a B, in this place, but because probably there is no scorecard to show.
All right. Hold that thought. Having no scorecard to show their workings, as we'll put it in layman's terms. We have Honorable Kingsley Akumefule on the line. Good morning, sir. How do you do? I'm fine, thank you, sir. Alright, okay, so welcome to Let's Talk. Today we're talking about Sowunmi's criticism on the ADC, African Democratic Congress. He is saying that these people are eventually going to fight amongst themselves and then not be able to achieve their goals. What do you have to say about this, please?
Yes, I concur. I concur completely, because when you look at the gatherings of those members who call themselves coalition, you will discover about 4 things amongst them. One is lack of ideology. You see, number 2 is the power struggle. Number 3 is lack of alternative policies. And 3 is looming internal crisis, if not even there as it is today. So when you look at these 4 policies or 4 areas I looked at, you discover that it will be very difficult for the coalition, as it were, to actually have a strong force, a formidable front to challenge this sitting government. You understand what I'm saying? Now, they do not have any new ideology aside the ideas that we all know before now. Of course, there is none of them that has not held office for more than 25 to 30 years in this country. Either as a governor, or as a minister, or as a vice president, or as something in this country. They have held offices for over 25 to 30 years, and none of them, not even one, has any new idea. Even as they are coalition, none has said, okay, this is a new ideology we have going forward. None of them. And when you look at them, you see everybody is struggling to become a president or a vice president. And the power struggle amongst them is too much. None of them want to even shelve his own idea or interest for the other. Now, if that is the case, it means that even if they win the election, assuming I'm not conceding that they will win the election, there will be more fight when you begin to look at those who want to be SGF, minister this and all that. The fight will be too much. As it is today, they're already fighting. And so that struggle for leadership is not a serious problem amongst them.
Okay, Honorable, speaking about struggle, right now there is perceived struggle. None of them have come out and said we have issues, we have problems. That's one. Secondly, speaking about power struggle again, There is no political party in Nigerian history that do not have internal political struggles, even in the APC at this moment, even the PDP as well. This coalition just formed. We have people with different ideology coming together for the common goal of the people. They know that at this point in time, the APC is not delivering enough for the people. So we need to come together as strong individuals who obviously want the best for Nigerians. And we can come together and then form an ideology that we can all stand by and push the narrative forward. Mind you, this is the first time a coalition has been formed. The APC itself came into power through a coalition as well, from different political parties coming together to form one and then try to unseat a certain government. It's been done before.
Yes.
So what makes you think that at this point in time, especially at the point in time where Nigerians are struggling, the people have barely enough to eat, and then they feel like the government in power is not doing enough for them? Don't you think that it's about time that this coalition is actually formed? And looking at their personalities, they do have a strong stand against the current government. What do you have to say about that?
Hello.
Hello, sir, I can hear you.
I disagree very completely.
Okay.
First and foremost, if you look at the coalition in 2013 that brought about the All Progressives Congress, you will notice that almost everybody rooted for Muhammadu Buhari. In fact, he was in his village, Daura, and people went there to ask him to come and be their president. He even disagreed at the point that he also had money to run an election. And everybody who came together for that coalition said, don't worry, we're going to sponsor you. Now, there was nothing like Mr. Obi want to be president, Mr. This want to be president, Mr. That want to be president. It was just one formidable force. They said, this man, come and go for us. Just like God was asking, who shall go for us? And Jesus said,
Okay. Okay.
yes. And who wants to be president?
Yeah.
Which want to be president? El-Rufai want to be president. Obi want to be president. In fact, almost every
El-Rufai has not said he wants to be president.
But he has intention.
when you have hired now,
So if you are just saying publicly, how did you know it?
His tribes.
all want to be president. Just like that man from Imo State, called Emeka Nwajoba, who has also indicated interest. He was a former minister under Buhari, state minister or something like that. Now, all of them, in order to ask for that presidency, have said, give me one tenor. Give me one tenor. You see how they're going to start? In fact, recently, the Obi movement had warned that if it is not the presidency, Obi is going nowhere. And you think that this kind of persons who have this kind of diverse interests will be able to form one united front, one united body, and now pursue this cause? It will be very, very difficult, my brother.
Honorable, you're making it sound like it's not normal for a political party
To have
to
competition.
throw in the bid for a candidacy. Whether I do understand that in terms of this particular coalition, we have strong personalities who all want to vie for the presidency, but it's nothing new. Even in the APC, we still have a time will come whereby the primaries will be run, and then they'll want to have a bid for the flag bearer. It's normal. So may the best man win, but let us not take away the fact that these people they have not only strong interest, but they have a strong standing against opposition. And let us not make it something that would be so amazing, like the way you're putting it.
Let me tell you, it is true that ambition is not vision. Ambition becomes so much that almost everybody wants to have a slot in the president. It becomes a problem. Like I gave you the example of what happened in the APC in 2013. So in today's coalition, everybody there needs the presidency. It's very, very difficult to have a united front. I've said this before. And again, in the formation of APC, you could see that there was somebody people saw that he was going to be different, even though when he became the president, he wasn't the different person people were expecting.
Okay.
He assumed office as a president. People were saying his body language. But when he finally became the president, we didn't see that body language. It was different as at that time. We were like, Nigerians are going to vote for you for one thing. This non-corruption stand. Now, in this case, there is none of these persons that are forming this coalition. No, not even one. That is following their track record.
Okay. Not even one. All right, sir.
Let's take.
For such kind of persons that are already known by Nigerians, if you want to take them one after the other, you will know that they do not have the criteria. They don't have what it takes to challenge this kind of government of Bola Tinubu. They don't have. This government is a government that you have too many political strategies, including present themselves.
Okay.
So you got to ask them in 2027.
All right, sir. All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable.
Hopefully, we'll love to have you in the studio maybe one of these days this week. Thank you so much, and that's Honorable
Kingsley Akumefule on the line. So he is saying that these people, they do not stand any chance against the seated government. Mr. Kechi, before let's quickly open the phone lines because they'll run down there.
It's going to look like our listeners don't stand a chance to be part of this conversation. 081-355-42321. We're not biased. I mean, let's
0912-863-0377. Yes, are the numbers to call, and officially the phone lines are open.
Yes, 081-355-42321. You can see the phone lines buzzing already. 091-286-30377. While we're waiting to call, Mr. Kechi, you have
So a government, a party full of political strategists, has no economic strategist, has no developmental minded strategist. No wonder the country is in a mess. And I mean, they're all politics, political strategists. We don't
want the studio to be in a mess, so let's hear from our listeners as well.
Hello, good. Yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome.
Captain, hi, welcome.
I thought you were engaged the other guest on what you showed Nigerians.
Exactly.
Let me tell that your guest. Look, in 2006, I was an active member of that party. It was so tough that Rota Sokocha wanted to be president. Atiku wanted to be president. Before they took that decision to
give it to Muhammad Buhari.
Exactly.
It was a battle. In fact, the battle was even what was said. In fact, it came to the level of Tinubu wanted to be vice president. And then this thing wanted to stop it. If you don't know the history concerning all progressive Congress, I was a foundation member. I think it was the first, in fact, that we came to the level where
I mentioned, yes.
Let's go to win first. That was the time I mentioned that it's not the public. Let's do it. That's the only chance opposition have to win this election. Because they have what it takes to win this election. But the Tinubu brought a disagreement and just put that party apart. But today, we are now thinking that the people that you claim that do not have opportunity, and you keep on visiting an opponent that they give to a football that is not your match. Even the match they play, they give them the jersey and the other place. People have already predicted that Chelsea will win that match. And they won. And that is how it is. When you have a lesser opponent, you don't need to bother yourself. But what do you see? They're beating everywhere. In fact, they have
So you feel they are distracted.
Thank you.
Okay, you mean what it means?
You see, to even say they are distracted is glorifying their situation. They have never been concentrated on governance.
Okay.
That's the now talking about number.
Let's just give room for that
for the calls.
So we just before we. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Christian.
Yes, go ahead.
Absolutely.
So I don't believe that what Caption has said is true. And that is what's going to play out in AD. Of course, the first idea is that and that's why ABC is free. Because there's not much ABC in the Go and read France, you go and read America, go and read all the countries that are doing well today. Chinese, they have all these kind of position and in their history. But the thing is that we have where we are setting our goals to attain. It is possible. Even in nature, it happens. There are stages in growth. So some could be wrong, some could be palatable, some could just like that. But the better thing is that it's not for us to condemn it as if it's not going to be well. It's going to be well, I believe. And for information, you see, when credit is due to give somebody, you give credit to somebody. People are talking about Lagos, a bank like that, you say it's people that nobody Lagos that they avoid Lagos. But Lagos has grown more than what we know of River State. But today, people you don't want to give the credit for being part of people that lay the foundation. You can lay a foundation for 20 years, depending on how large.
All right. All right, Christian. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and talking of even a number of presidents, even in the last 2023 general election, how many people contested for the APC primaries? We have a whole lot of them. The likes of Nwajuba, former Minister of Education for State Amechi, there were many of them that contested. So it is even an aberration to have a political party and only one presidential aspirant.
Exactly.
You have people who like I said earlier, every system, every organization naturally has in itself the seed of integration, has in itself some internal contradictions. However, how that system manages that internal contradiction determines how it goes. So that you have many people in the ADC who have ambition. It's not the issue. How well they manage their ambition, how well individual ambition is subsumed for the general good, how well each individual believe in the general good determines what happens at the end of the day. So APC have an assignment at hand, assignment that they have taken for the past 10 years, which unfortunately they have made a mess of that assignment. Let them concentrate and see how they will redeem themselves.
Okay, let's quickly take this call.
Between now and
2027.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, my brother Christopher.
Quarter Magnus, welcome.
Thank you. Very quickly, I want to say that coalition or people coming together to form a political party in this country is not a problem. It will further deepen our internal democracy come election day. But looking at characters in the coalition, I think they don't have a chance to stand Mr. President on election day. And I want to tell you that with what Kingsley Akumefule have said, that come election day, or not before 12 noon, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win them. It is very clear. Thank you so much,
Did you just campaign for Tinubu now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I like this. Everybody is defending their mandate.
All right, 081-355-42321, 091-286-30377.
All right, so Mr. Kechiko, quickly while we're waiting for the calls, we've seen what could go wrong in the coalition. Everybody is seeing the bad side of it. Everybody is seeing the perceived internal wranglings that could, undo the party. Now, can we look at the other picture? What could go right? One, and how can they work out their differences to achieve their common goal?
Now, it's simple. If I were the handlers of the coalition, even before the coalition started, what are they putting forth before Nigerians in terms of program? How are they going to undo some of the things even the APC and the PDP of yesteryears have done that has left the country in a disastrous state? What are they going to do concerning security? What are they going to do concerning the economics? It's not just about, like Manuel Bakumefla has said, not about just they have political strategies. We are the economic strategies. Then, beyond their program, they should also weigh the feeling of the people. It is not about those that will vote in their primaries when they decide to hold a primaries. They should weigh the feeling of the people. When people finally openly declare for their intention to be the president, if I were those that will vote at that primaries, I would weigh the feeling of my constituency. That, okay, who amongst these people are the people who team for? So I am going there to vote. So I think the ADC in choosing her presidential aspirant should consider the person that resonates very well with the grassroots people.
Okay. Before we come back to your pattern shot, hello, good morning.
lost that.
We lost that call. Okay, so quickly in a minute or two, like I said, what's the advice would you give to the coalition?
Before
moving
before
forward?
that, let's just take this final call.
Okay.
All right, and then we lost it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. So your parting shots. How can the coalition come together to, irrespective of their differences, how can they put aside their differences and then move towards their common goal, whether to unseat or to give good opposition? Because it's two things. It's either they're able to unseat the current government or they come in and then form a very strong opposition,
I think
checkmating.
should be unseating the government. The checkmating
I know. I'm looking at it from two.
a quote comfort.
Exactly. I'm just saying. I'm looking at the people of Nigeria. Either way, it's a win-win situation. If they're able to unseat the current government and they are able to come with good policies that would bring relief to the Nigerians, it's good for us. If they're able to win, at least we have a strong opposition. Unlike now, in the next term for this current government, making sure that they are checkmating their every policies, So, what would you say? Your passing shots in a minute or two.
Like I said, in choosing their officials, especially their presidential aspirant and others, they should weigh in the feeling of the people. It is not about those that will vote at the primaries when they decide to have one. It is about let those guys who will vote, let the party weigh in the feeling of the people. Who amongst the aspirants is likely to command obedience from, and not just obedience, and to command majority vote, satisfactory vote, not grudgingly from the people. What has been their political strength in time past? We just had a 2023 general election. Which of those candidates commanded a higher vote? Which of those candidates resonate, developmental ideas more than the other? It's not about a candidate who is able to buy votes during the primaries, but it's about the candidate who has constantly spoken to Nigeria, if they have any such person, who is talking to Nigerians, who is telling, who has shown an understanding of the present situation, and beyond understanding of that situation, who has profiled idea of how to move Nigeria from point A to point B. Absolutely. So it's time for everybody to think of development. Enough of just having a political strategies. We need economic strategies. We need those whose thinking are in tune with the people of Nigeria, who has taken their thinking to the extent that every time they think and dream the development, we need to see a situation where they need to be thinking of that candidate that in the next 4 years, Nigeria would have moved from a country where people struggle to find their daily bread to a place where people are relatively assured of their daily bread. We need to move from that country where people board the next flight at the sight of a simple flu to a country where people, at least I'm not talking of that exaggeration of people coming from abroad for medical, but at least Nigerians can seek good medical care in Nigeria and be confident that they will get medical care, not a death certificate.
Not a death certificate, but good medical care. And I think that's a very beautiful way to round up today's discussion. Mr. Kechikuchiku, thank you so much for coming to the studio and making today's so engaging, so breathtaking. I don't know about you, Chris.
I enjoyed mine.
I enjoyed myself.
I didn't get my time to give my parting shot because we don't have much time.
Yeah, we don't have much time.
To do that, but hey,
how can the main man not have a parting shot?
Well, because today the main man is not the main man. On that note, this is where we draw the curtains. Thank you so much for tuning in and contributing as well. We couldn't have done this without you. But hey, join us again same time tomorrow at 8 a.m. for more. Please stay tuned. Up next is the economy.
This is 99.5 Wish FM, Nigeria's Business Radio in Port Harcourt.